Why can't they deliver a functioning modern city to show the Zimbabwe electorate that if ever we go to State House, look at Bulawayo or Harare or Mutare as a well-run city with MDC mayors putting on a good show? Never have they been seen with a businessman. All they know is to fill T&S claims for hamburgers, for the T&S claims for lifts, being bribed to put a stand on every corner where there was a school or a yard or a sports yard, filling everything because they want to put money in their pockets. They don't collect, they collect rates, they don't use the rates for the development of the city. Now the president has to use emergent powers, which is now the case, to come into the urban areas to build roads, which should have been built by ratepayers. They complain about Zinara money, but Zinara is only less than 10 years. Cities were run well before Zinara was on board. Why were the other councillors, including the ZANU PF post-independence, able to offer a clean city with garbage being collected? Because they cared. So we hope that the electorate this time will be able to judge between the two parties. Ngoma, the development, that's Triple C. Isu, Tiri, Shash, the development, that's what ZANU PF is. This will be the stark choice which we hope the election of Zimbabwe will decide, with the electorate going for a party which has changed their lives or is changing their lives in a positive manner, which is attracting international capital in droves, exciting the top businessmen of the world to come to Zimbabwe, but also reaching out to the neighborhood to say that we can work with South Africa, we can work with Mozambique, we can work with all our neighbors, and we want to be a full member of the Africa Free Trade Union, which is coming 1.2 billion youthful consumers as the population of Europe ages and that of China ages. We are the continent of the future. So the Second Republic is grasping the opportunity which is being offered to Africa. We want, and this is the goal of the president, we want to be the top African nation as Africa takes its rightful place in global economic affairs. So we are working very hard. Like I told you, our structures are in place. We are gingered up as a party. We are there to drive the registration of voters. People who complain about our institutions, we just had the hiatus over the Delimitation Commission. This is how democracy shows itself. There were complaints against the delimitation report from ZEC, and both the ZANU PF and Triple C found themselves discontented with that report, both sides. So people who want to say that institutions are captured, why would ZANU PF be unhappy if you claim because the institutions are trying to do their work perhaps in an impartial manner? I don't know whether it is to their best, but definitely this is a demonstration of impartiality, that the two parties can have common cause in complaining about ZEC. Maybe now there is issues to be resolved between the president and ZEC because we need our elections. But those who are always clamoring that institutions in Zimbabwe are biased, it's simply because they don't want to support the Zimbabwe state, because they've got a grudge with the Zimbabwe state which came out of the Chimrenga revolution, and they want to be in power outside the tenets of constitutionalism and the Zimbabwe state. There's no other reason, because we don't disagree with the MDC on anything except on the day the elections are announced. Then they say we lost because we were cheated. But you went all through the process, and then afterwards all your MPs take their posts of the same cheated election. Then your councillors take over towns of the same cheated elections. And when we say we are being given allowances and housing allowances, but they all say we deserve from the same government. So it is the issue of hungry for power outside the context of winning an election. That is the main, this is the sole point of contention between the MDC and ZANU PF. We're hoping that this time there will be a pledge to say, regardless of the outcome of the election, if I lose, I will accept that I lost. That's what we are hoping will be the case. But already we see a lot of complaining about this to create grounds for crybabies, which are the triple C. You know a crybaby? Because he always thinks that mother will come and rescue me from somewhere. And mother is America, and mother is London, mother is Berlin, mother is Paris. That's why they cry away to. You cry away to those countries to come and decide the outcome of your election in Zimbabwe when you cannot convince the electorate in Zimbabwe to vote for you. You must convince the electorate. So this is, in short, where we are going. I was at pains to address that because this is an important point in the year of elections. We are very happy with this election of President Cyril Ramaphosa as a party. It's a sister party. There were people who were hopeful that the part of the African liberation, which is ANC, which is the oldest national liberation movement probably on the African continent, definitely one of the oldest in the world. There were people who were wishing that it can grow asunder and South Africa becomes a chaotic country. We are very happy that the ANC has managed to hold a Congress and President Cyril Ramaphosa has emerged. We are delighted with that outcome. And just a few days ago, maybe I think yesterday, there was a summit of the SADC Troika. We are members of the SADC Troika in Namibia. And they came out swinging against the American-sponsored bill in the American Congress to say we will punish Africa for consorting with Russia. South Africa said no. You heard Minister Naledi Pandor telling it first on to the Americans. We also heard Foreign Minister Lavrov from Russia being told that we will not go with America on the issue of Ukraine. We are neutral. We have no reason to take sides in wars which are not on the African continent. So the SADC position from Windhoek with President Hichilema, yes, President Hichilema, whom the Triple C wants to say is our role model, he also came out against the same resolution. We are happy that this position about not using Africa as a pawn in a global rivalry between superpowers has been affirmed by SADC. We are very happy about that. We are hoping that there can be a consensus so that our friendly neighbor Zambia can find a way out of its debt default, both with the IMF and with the other debtors, because we need Zambia as a vibrant economy. You are aware that we are importing a lot from Zambia. We're also exporting a lot, including coking coal, which is a new product for Zimbabwe to the Zambian gold and copper mines. We are now a major exporter of coke from Hwange. South Africa is a major customer. We have displaced the Chinese in supplying coking coal to the steel companies of South Africa from Hwange. Another set of coke batteries is coming up in April, where we'll jump from 150,000 tons to 300 to 400,000 tons of coke. So we are moving. We are definitely moving, and our neighborhood is recognizing that Zimbabwe is moving. So this is a good thing. I keep on revolving around these economic aspects because the promise of the Zimbabwe National Liberation Movement in the 1960s and 70s and all that sacrifice was that we must give the people of Zimbabwe an opportunity for a better life. That's why I differed with many in the First Republic, because they were there to complain about the condition of Zimbabwe, not to ameliorate it. And President Mnangagwa is not there to complain, but is there to make sure that the conditions of living for the Zimbabwe people improve. And that's what we are bent on. So this comes as the manifesto of ZANU-PF in the coming elections. These points which I've been trying to highlight to you. We will be campaigning on the ticket of successful economic deliveries so that people of Zimbabwe can have a better life. That's what we'll be campaigning for. And those who will be campaigning on wishing that sanctions can bring down the economy of Zimbabwe so that ZANU-PF can be removed, this time they are isolated. That's why we are also able to entertain the American embassy in ZANU-PF headquarters. This is a tectonic shift in the diplomatic relations between Zimbabwe and Washington. This is good. You know that our foreign minister was invited to Washington, to the Africa Summit by the Americans. America is playing catch up because it's seeing its business lunch in Africa being taken by the Chinese, by the Indians, by the Turkish, by the UAEs. They are taking America's business lunch. So they are seeing that this country, which has got so much to offer, we are being made to lose the opportunities. So watch it. We are reaching out to America. Even before we reach out to their government, we shall reach out to their business people.